Hi, I'm Conrad from Greenhouse Learning, and this is another video in the How to Teach AQA GCSE English series. And in this one, we're going to look at the unseen poetry paper. So I find that the unseen poetry is probably the one that students kind of fear the most, um, mainly because poetry analysis can be quite a tricky thing to do anyway. And also, maybe it's just that fear of the unknown, like not really knowing what to do. And sometimes you can get given a poem and you just have no idea where to start. But I think that unseen poetry, in a way, is kind of like the place that is one of the easiest to pick up some marks if you just approach it in the right way. So in this video, we're going to kind of go over how I would teach it, and we're going to look at the syllabus, how to hit the AOs, and then we're going to be going through a past paper as well, just so you can show your students how to hit those marks. So here is the AO to the unseen poetry. The big difference here compared to the other lit papers is that there is no AO3, and that is because you don't know the context in which the poem was written because you haven't done that background research into it. So you're not expected to be able to refer back to when it was written and why that had affected the text, because you don't know. So the main points of this are being able to analyze the point the poem is making, while also being able to identify the different themes, language, structure, writing techniques that are used by the poet. So with this one, I found a great bit of I don't know what you call it. It's just like a really good booklet that kind of goes through all the unseen poetry approaches and kind of like talks about everything that you need to know to be able to pass unseen poetry. So I'll attach that into this video, and then you can go through it and then go through it with your students as well, because it's got lots of practice questions and it's just a really good bit of resource to have there. So unseen poetry is split up into two questions. The first question will be analysing one poem. This is the bigger marker, so you'll be analysing one poem fully, and you'll be expected to analyse the themes and meanings and link it to techniques and methods. Have an understanding of structure, language, and techniques, and make sure you focus more on the meaning than the technique stuff that they really want to. You're using the idea of techniques and structure to back up what the poem is about. So that'll be the first question. And then the second question is you get given another poem and you have to compare that to the first poem. So you need to find similarities in the writing style and the messages behind it and outline why they are different. The poems will have like a similar meaning or themes, but they'll also have lots of differences as well. So it's being able to pick out those. And like I said earlier, there is no AO3 in this question. So again, I've shown you this before, but this is just a really good structure to go through for all of the exams. So you read the question first before reading the text to understand what you'll be looking for. So in this one, it'll give you the theme to identify, and then I'd say go read through the poem and highlight how you'd get those themes. Highlight your AO1 and annotate your AO2. So again, I think they should be the way around. So you highlight the AO2, the bit that you're going to be using to back up your AO1, and then you write next to it the point that you are making by highlighting this text. And then if you've seen the other videos, I've already gone through what that is. So this is what the poem would look like, or the paper even. So you get given one poem, and the question is, in Shoulders, how does the poet present ideas about the importance of protecting and taking care of each other? So we'd need to look at this, and we'd need to kind of do like a top-bottom analysis of everything that is going on. Again, in this, I'm not really going to be going over in big detail how to do this. I will give you all the resources to do that on your own. This is more about how I would tell my students to do it. So we need to do it top down. So I'd say read it once through to kind of get the idea of the feeling, the idea of the message. And then I'd read it again through to look at those structural points and those techniques that we can see in. And then like with any exam with text in, go through, and then you're going to highlight the bits that you think you will be quoting later in the text. And then next to it, you will annotate that with the point that you're going to make. Like I said in this, we're not going to go into too much detail on that. And then here is the second one. So again, we need to read the question first. So in both choices and shoulders, the poet presents ideas about protecting and taking care of things around us. What are similar and or different, or what the similarities and or differences between the methods the poets use to present these ideas? So again, we're looking at different writing techniques, we're looking at different styles, we're looking at the different structure that was used. Anything can be used. However, what I would say is always start it with like the theme, the thing they're trying to present, and then use the techniques to back up your answer. And then just like the other questions that I've said, I think with a 24 marker, you want a good 3 points with an introduction and a conclusion. Any big essay you want to be including both of those. And this one, you can get away with two, but make sure you talk about lots of different things in this. So, you can maybe have one on the different language and one on the different structure, but then, how they are both used to affect the meaning behind it. So you can talk about lots of similarities and differences in then. But like I said, I'm going to be connecting the sources that I've used for this, and they've all been really, really helpful. I just hope this is just a good short video to help you understand a bit more about the unseen poetry question and how you should be telling your students to approach it. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.